What's up, guys? Yeah, I know I'm live. I'm sitting here trying to work on my overlays. Trying to get this thing figured out for you guys. So I'll be in and out. Like, I won't turn the live stream off, but I'm going to be in and out trying to figure out this audio deal. I can't figure out why I can't get the audio to come through while I have my headphones on, so I have less chance of feedback. Good morning, John. I'm sitting here trying to get this audio issue figured out for you guys, so you got some music playing. How did that sound come through? All right. Not bad. Is it too low? What I'm trying to figure out, John, is if it's feeding through the microphone or if you're actually hearing it from my desktop audio. Anybody out there, tell me what the music level is and if it's coming through clear, because I don't know if you're feeding through the microphone or if you're feeding through the desktop audio. All right. It's time to start it, guys.
Yeah, let's go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yeah, I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, bro. Who am I stopping, bro? I'm really got shit. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people are spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion. Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock it up. That's right, I swear to God that I can shock you, bro. I got a shot and I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, let's go. I don't care what they all say. I'ma do this thing my way. They grinding hard on it all day. We work hard, then we all play. I'm addicted to the grind, man. So I refuse to waste time, man. One day it all will be fine, man. Gotta commit to the climb. You know we're back with the beginners, setting records every minute, every track. In addition to the fact that we're winning, still we lack something's missing. Need a track that is hitting, making raps, making noise, and rap ambition. I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate mine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating. Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock it up. That's right, I swear to God that I can shock you, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. Now I know that I'm unstoppable. Take a look around me. Taking pages from a magazine. Looking for the answer. Ever since we were 17. You know the truth could be a weapon. But for real intentions. New answer to the same question. How many times will you learn the same lesson? Got it all wrong. You still hold on. And on. 'Cause we're gonna be legends. Gonna get their attention. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's supposed to be legendary. We're gonna be, we're gonna be legendary. Take a look around me. Taking pages from a magazine. Looking for the answer. Ever since we were 17. 'Cause we're gonna be legends. Gonna get their attention. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary. Yeah, we're gonna be legends. It's about to be legendary. This is what we came for. Couldn't want it anymore. Never turn back now. Got to be all on the floor. Dreaming of the payoff. The struggles and the trade-offs. Hiding truth, they find a way up. Tell them the truth, but they think it's just made up. They don't wanna be legend. They don't wanna be legend. They don't wanna be legend. They don't wanna be
What's up, guys? Chris with Croft CNC here. We are back with another show with our man Jerry, the marketing guru.
Hey,
What's
everybody.
up, Jerry?
Not much, guys.
How's everything going on your end?
Good. Just wrapping the year up and looking forward to hopefully a much better 2021.
Amen to that. Amen to that. We got some people on, popping in, popping out. We don't have any questions yet. So I guess let's start it with some open dialogue and just going from there. And we'll let these people get their questions, their specific questions in. How's that sound to you?
That's fine by me.
Okay. what do you feel is the most important aspect for these small businesses to actually start marketing themselves is?
Well, I think that the biggest thing is just putting a plan together to consistently create content. That seems to be the hardest hurdle. And once you kind of get over that hurdle, everything else after that kind of takes care of itself. And it really isn't, dependent on what platform you choose or anything like that. It's really just dependent upon are you going to make the commitment that and for time that it takes to consistently churn out some content every day, and put a plan in place to be able to do that. That's the number one thing. And then once you do that, then you can start worrying about things like finding your audience and finding where those people are at and those kinds of things.
So that actually brings me to a question that was prompted last night. There's a watcher. He watches on the replay because he's at work working and can't get to the show this morning at this time slot. So one of his things is he's running Facebook ads, but he's basically covering all of the US 18 to 65. That's his Facebook ad right there. Now,
go ahead.
From my standpoint, yeah, that's fantastic, but that's all white noise to almost 90% of the people he's targeting with that ad, and it's useless money spent.
Absolutely. My first question. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, not a problem. So, that conversation was had in a PM about the show today, because a watcher couldn't watch and he wanted to get some information, but he didn't really know how to go about it. So, all right, Jerry's back.
So my first question is, what's he selling?
10. He's selling wooden home decor, wooden signage.
So number one, that eliminates half your audience. So you should only be advertising to women. And then the next thing is you should be using affinities to narrow down your audience.
So why only women? If he's making like garage signs or man cave signs and stuff like that.
Lowest hanging fruit.
Okay.
We always want to spend our money on the lowest hanging fruit. And remember, your ideal customer is not exactly your best customer. The goal is to fund your enterprise and sell product and to make money. And you've got to start with the lowest hanging fruit, and the lowest hanging fruit in your sector, when it comes to signage, there you are, is females. It's the HGTV home decor female. That's who you're going after. That's who's most likely the number one searcher for your product. And that's, if you have a limited budget, that's where you start.
Okay. Guys, you're going to hear a little bit of dead space in between when Jerry's talking and when I pop on, because I have my notepad and I have my pen and I am writing down some knowledge. All right. So what for me, we've talked about this. My demographic is based upon what actual sign am I trying to push?
Right.
So if I have a welcome home sign, I would push typically a female aged 25 to 55, homeowner, married, children, probably like medium income, mean income of like 35,000 a year plus.
Yep.
Am I right on that?
Oh yeah, that's well within the ballpark.
Okay. Okay. Now, what could I do to narrow that down? It's a
Well,
welcome home sign made out of wood.
I don't think you can narrow that down.
Okay.
Right? You're again, unless you have the ability to piggyback that off of a audience that is already on a larger page or a competitor's page. You're not going to be able to do that. But again, you can use interests at that point to narrow that down. Again, if they if they follow HGTV, if they follow Home Decor, if they follow Magnolia, if they follow you can narrow that audience even further.
So at that point, you would actually use your interest types to narrow that down to really a select couple thousand audience members that you could possibly pay less than 10 cents a click.
Well, as you narrow your audience down, your cost per click is going to go up, but the likelihood of that ad being in front of the right person greatly increases. So you need fewer clicks in order to get a sale.
Well, we're talking about clicks. Explain it. I know what it is, but explain to the audience, because we talked about this in class and not necessarily on the show last time.
Yeah. Hold on one more second.
Yeah. So what we're actually talking about, guys, is cost per click. And when you discuss cost per click, that's the basic gist of
my boy's roaming around getting himself in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, what we're trying to do is digital marketing is all about buying that click, right? It's about buying that person that's going to interact with your ad, and they're going to interact with that ad based on a click. But then we've got to figure out how many clicks does it take in order for me to get a sale, right? Does it take 10 people visiting that landing page before I get a sale? Does it take 20? Does it take 50? And that helps to determine how much money we're going to spend in order to acquire a client, right? In order to acquire a customer or to be able to sell a product. So you always have to watch your cost per click. That's your most important metric is that, and then using that to figure out what your cost per acquisition for sale is. If you know that number, then you know how much money you can spend. If you know for every $3 I spend, I sell a $50 product. Well, how many times are you willing to shell out $3 in order to make 50?
Okay. Hold on here. I'm still, just so you guys realize, I'm still writing down stuff from the interest section that we just talked about. So what's nice about this show being in a digital format, and Jerry, that's something I want to get to for me, but I want to put it out to the audience so they understand, is how can we get a bigger footprint for Coffee and Cuts? Like what that is a type of marketing for me.
Right.
Even though I don't utilize it as that, it actually is from what I'm seeing and being told. But in any event, when I'm sitting here writing down interest, I'm looking at like Magnolia, Chip and Joanne, Gaines. What other interests should I be looking at? HGTV.
Any of the HGTV programs, Hometown or anything like that, you know, those are going to be your audience. Country decor of any kind, you know, that's your that's your audience.
Gotcha.
And again, until you exhaust that audience, there isn't any reason for you to advertise anyplace else.
Right.
Like that's just the bottom line. I mean, you got to exhaust the low hanging fruit first, and then go after the other stuff.
Mike, Copperhead Mike actually sent me a PM that says I need to get you a custom dog sign. What do you think about that?
I'll take. Actually, let me show you what I've got to hang on my wall behind me that hasn't made it to the wall yet because I need nails. So this is going to go on the wall behind me. Eventually here someplace. I don't know, but it'll get up there this week at some point in time. I gotta go get nails. I gotta go. And I have a couple other pictures I'm going to put up there too.
That was funny. He sent me that.
Yeah. It's great. Hey, I'll take another one.
There you go.
If that's the appreciation shown, I'll take it. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So now I guess the big question when putting these ads together is you really don't know if your actual product is going to make the connection with that audience.
Right. I mean, and that's here. This is the beauty of digital and specifically, you know, Facebook ads. Like you can test lots of different things. Like you're not limited to running a single ad. I mean, in an ad campaign, you know, in testing an ad campaign, you can run 30 different ads, and you can see which one connects, and Facebook will tell you the engagement rate and the response rate, and Facebook's going to show you your customer, your target audience, the ad that performs the best. Because that's in their best interest. You know, if they want you to continue to spend money with them, they're going to optimize that ad for you. So don't run an ad for one product. Run 25 different product ads and see which one connects.
Okay, if I'm running 25 product ads,
yep.
How much money are we talking to get an honest for you to get an honest review of the analytics and say, okay, this is the direction we need to go? How much money are we talking about spending?
It depends on how big that audience, how big your audience is. But if I'm running 25 ads in an ad group, and I probably wouldn't do that. I'd run a group of 10 and another group of 10. So if I'm running 10 ads, the minimum I'm going to spend on those 10 ads is $50, $10 a day over 5 days to see how that performs. And you always want to spend between $1 and $5 a day over 5 days in order to test your ads.
Okay, so we're talking $50 for each ad campaign, right?
Yep.
And then you want to run what, 2 to 3 groups of ad campaigns?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking $150 for the week?
Over 5 days.
Over 5 days, $150, and that will get you some analytics that you can analyze and say, okay, this one's performing a little bit better for this type of product.
For this type of product, this audience, or this one's selling, or, you know, I'm selling product and I'm making money and I don't care, and I'm just going to keep running the 10 ads across the campaign, and I'm going to let it keep churning.
Okay. So,
you know, but the bottom line comes down to sales, right? That's the bottom line. If you're spending $30 a day and you're selling $100 a day in product, you might not want to ever optimize that ad. You might not want to delve in there and look. I mean, it would benefit you to do so, but if it's paying for itself, ultimately, what do you care? You're doing exactly what you want to be doing. But
what is the expected ROI on that? Is it a 1-to-1, a 2-to-1, a 1.5-to-1?
There is no expected ROI. It's really based on the product and your audience, right?
Right.
Because that's your profit margin. There's way too many factors to figure in ROI. But the bottom line is you need to determine, if I spend $5 on advertising this particular product, how many of them do I have to sell in order to be happy?
You're off to the left of your screen a bit. If you're going to lean on your chair, you need to move your chair over.
Yeah.
All right. So
the bottom line is, am I making money, right? And at $5 a sale, right, am I happy with that? Am I happy at $25 a sale? What's that number? And then that's going to be your determining factor as to whether or not you're going to continue.
Okay.
If suddenly you advertise 10 products, right, and you sell 7 out of 10, okay, during that advertising cycle, then maybe you want to look at those 7 products and say, which one do I make the most money on? Which one am I better off investing more money in advertising? So there's various ways to look at it, but the bottom line is we need to know, how much is a sale costing us, and is it making me money?
Gotcha. I like all of those points, and this is good for me because I've heard this content before, but there's so much thrown at you as a guy who's trying to run a small business. I'm running around day to day just trying to put out fires. Just trying to get this done, ship this, go here, pick up this material and everything. And at the end of the day, I'm so tired. When I lay down, I go, shit, I forgot to do my marketing, and when you do that, it makes it discouraging because you're like, oh, I'm just constantly going to work and I'm never going to get ahead and it's not going to make me money. And that's the reality of this, is you have to do extraordinary things to receive an extraordinary reward.
Right. And on to that end, you've got to embed marketing in everything that you do. It's not a separate thing that you go through. Marketing is something that I do as I'm going throughout my day, because marketing is all about me documenting my journey and using that journey to create the content that I need. That's about learning to use this thing wisely, right? It's always in my pocket. I always have the ability to use this to create what I need. And then consistently doing it. Like, right. That's the bottom line. The reason why we are unsuccessful as small business owners when it comes to marketing is because we look at marketing as something separate from everything else that we're doing, and it's not. It is. Bottom line, after you've figured out what your product is, marketing is the number one thing. Right. It's the thing at the top of your list, not the thing at the bottom of your list.
And I think that's one of the things that has made Croft CNC so popular across everything is my marketing strategy is help as many people as I can make as much money as they can. I give away my content for free. I do this show. you know, I'm not making anything from StreamYard. I'm not making anything from Facebook. You know, this show is free of charge. I'm giving the people that watch free marketing information. Like, I'm seeking you out and putting you on here, and that is my form of marketing. And I go through all the groups, and I post, and I help, and I go live, and like that's my marketing. The problem I have is I do a lot of marketing and I don't get a lot of return.
Well, and for you, and you and I've had this discussion before too. You have to figure out where am I going to generate my revenue from? Right? It's okay to have 7 different streams of revenue. That's perfectly fine. But you've got to figure out, okay, in that revenue mix, where's my revenue coming from? And which one of those revenue streams makes me sustainable? What makes me sustainable today? And which one of those revenue streams do I want to sustain me, be the thing that's sustaining me in June or next December or next April, whatever, right? And then focus to get there. And that's the hard part. Like that means sitting down and making decisions, figuring things out. Hey, you, stop it. And that's really the business aspect of this thing is super important as well. So listen, you're being cantankerous. Stop it. So that's how you gotta look at this. And then figure out, okay, now I'm going to spend some time promoting my education pieces. And this is how I'm going to make money on the education side of things, right? And the other thing is a point that you know, the Gary V's and the Seth Godins and the Guy Kawasaki's of the world point out pretty frequently, and that is you got to be okay saying all of this is free, but now this is something that costs you money,
Right?
You know, if you want this, I've got to charge you for it because, you know, I got bills to pay and mouths to feed and equipment to buy and things to do.
That's kind of the point where I'm at now, is I have so many people coming to me for free information. Oh, I heard you helped my friend out and got them running for this, that, and the other. Can you help me? And it's like, you want to get these people into the hobby and understanding like your joy. For me, it's the joy of CNC machines. It's the joy of making them, running them, creating products on them, and getting the products to the people. That the journey is the joy for me. Yeah. But there's no money in that journey.
Well, again, the reason why there isn't any money in the journey right now for you is you have a big enough audience. Okay. As your audience grows, as your tribe goes, there becomes more opportunity for you to generate that revenue. Right. So the question becomes, instead of having, 12 people show up, for your live stream, how do I end up with 300 people on my live stream? How do I end up with 500 people, depending upon my daily newsletter that I send out that's got education information in it, right? And then what things can I sell around that? That's really where you've got to construct it. And again, you've got to, the hardest part about that is figuring out, okay, where is that audience?
So here's one of my new marketing strategies I've already started to implement. Is everybody knows me for doing tutorials, like design tutorials and machine tutorials and stuff like that. So what I did was I've got a couple pieces of content where I do A to Z design from inception to vectorizing to writing the tool path to actually making the part. And with that, what I did was I put together a PDF file that has step-by-step instruction, what's going on with the video. And then I also provided to them the tooling kits of the actual tools that I used. And now you can buy those little mini projects, like one project, a welcome home sign cut on the CNC router. This is how you do it. And I have it in different steps where you can buy the file for the project. You can buy the project and the tooling, and you can buy the project, the tooling, the material, and you can also buy a finished product.
Yeah, that's, those are the things that you need to test, and you need to improve upon and put together and then get out there. It's the same. It really is the same content. It's the same concept. But again, the bottom line becomes, if your goal is to sell to a hobbyist and get a hobbyist going, then what are hobbyists looking for? But how do you go find them? How do you go find 500 hobbyists who will say, Chris is my expert, Chris is my guru, and then be able to provide to them enough content and enough value that they're going to give something back to you.
Let's see. So Copperhead Mike says to take a look at Justin Rhodes. He has a homesteading channel, and he's been at the top of the market for 4 to 5 years. He has some physical merchandise, but mostly social media marketing. Andrew Kling says, so be a consultant. That's easier said than done in this day and age, because what I found is I am the guy to go to ask questions. So I am a consultant. The problem being, so many guys want that consulting for free that they start with one simple question and then they tie you up for 2 hours. Oh, well, if I've got this information and I've got that information, and then you give them the information and you say, hey, now you got to start paying for it. Now you're the asshole.
Well, no, I actually, what you need to do up front is to set the expectation and the boundary, right away. And that is, you say, listen, I'm happy to answer your question. Let me explain to you the way this works. All right. I'll give you 30 minutes. We'll call, we'll jump on a Zoom. I'll give you 30 minutes. I'll answer your question. Take care of what you need. By the way, I've got a morning live stream every morning. I take audience questions then. If over this 30 minutes you don't get everything answered that you want, maybe jump in there. Don't always answer the questions, but when I can, I get to them. And you'll find a topic that's good there. If you need more than this half hour, here's the link to go schedule an hour of my time, and an hour of my time costs you X. Costs you $200 an hour. And what you're telling them is, I'm giving you $100 free right now, right? I'm giving you a half hour of my time for free. I'm handing you $100 bill. Right. After that, I'm going to recognize that my time is worth something, and here we go. The Copperhead Mike's suggestion of Patreon. Maybe you're going to do a patron page, right? And some of your content's going to be on the patron page, and that's where you get it. And somebody will ask a question, and you just say in the live stream or in your conversation with them, actually, I've got a video on that. It's over on my patron page. You want to jump over there, become a member over there. You can get that question answered, and that's where that information is. And just be, you be very upfront about what the boundaries are, what the expectation that the person who's asking the question is, and you go from there. Point them to your, you point them to your free stuff. This is my free stuff, and this is the stuff that's going to cost you something.
That's easier said than done for me because, you've talked to me. I get jazzed about CNC stuff. That's my thing. And like, I will talk to anybody at length about it. And I get myself happy.
Yeah. Well, it's my thing too. Right. I love the education piece of this. I love teaching people. But I also like to eat.
Right.
I like to have a roof over my head. I like to have a laptop that works so I can do my job. All of those things. So you've really just got to segment your knowledge, and then be very disciplined about your time and where you push people for various kinds of information that you give. That's it.
Yeah, we all know discipline is my strong suit. No, so you mentioned Patreon. I created a Patreon page. My biggest issue is I don't know how to exactly implement what I'm doing. So I'm trying to wade through, and that's the hardest part of this whole thing is everybody knows what you have to do and will tell you. And then you have so much information coming at you that you can't move forward because nothing's working right, because you're using 15 different people and you don't know which one is the actual person. How do we find the proper information to implement these things? Or do we hire somebody like you to take care of that?
Again, the first step in this whole thing is the strategic level of things. It's sitting down and figuring out what is the customer journey that the person's going to go on and interact with me with. What does that look like? All right. And then it's determining the buckets that your product, your education, your knowledge, your information falls into. What areas? Okay. This one's paid and it's going to cost this much. And this one's, this is paid and it's costs this much. This one's free. This one's free, but it's a little bit more advanced than this. And so this is going to be at a different level. It's figuring all that out. And then once you figure all that out, then it's a matter of sitting down and saying, okay, this level, I want to charge for. Well, what's the best way to get paid for that? What's the best way to charge somebody for that? All right. And where do I go from here? Then it's after you figure that out, it's determining, is the way that people use the platform that I just chose, is that their normal way of using it? Are they used to paying for that information on that particular platform? And then going from there and taking it step by step. But if you don't have the top level plan and a commitment to the top level plan, you're going to end up with a fragmented social media and digital presence that's not going to pay you the way you want to be paid.
Right. And I think that's my problem right now is I have such a big social footprint. Like, I didn't realize how much I've built up over time in an organic fashion that I don't have a vision for making the money. That's the problem. Is I'm a dreamer, doer, not a businessman. So I have no vision of making money. I have a vision of I get to run my machines. And that's where the disconnect comes through for me. And that's something in 2021, people, I'm telling you right now, it is, I am going to be working with Jerry, and I've actually already set aside an amount of money that I'm going to figure out this whole process. And as we do, I want to bring everybody on, because this is the struggle that we deal with. This is the day in, day out struggle that small businesses deal with. And this is what guys like Jerry bring to the table, and why they get paid so much is because they know this stuff. You're paying for my CNC knowledge. We have to pay Jerry for his marketing knowledge, and that's something that's so unreal to me, is the footprint that we can have and possibly monetize, and how much we're leaving on the table as small businesses in this digital marketing age. It just blows my mind. It's actually really scary for me. For me and people like me, you have all of this questionable action. Like I'm one, I tell everybody, I don't know if I'm moving forward, but I'm moving. As long as I'm not moving backwards, I'm moving. I don't think that's the right way to look at it. It has to be moving forward. You can have stumble steps, but you have to move forward. I'm not going to be happy. I'm genuinely not happy with where I'm at in the CNC world, because I'm not going to be happy until Titan Gilroy from Titans of CNC says, you want to know this stuff? Chris is the man in this sector. I got all the aerospace information and everything like that, but Chris Croft is the guy. You want to talk about CNC wood routering, go to him. And the only way you can really get the ear of that type of situation is to be at the forefront. But the only way to be at the forefront is to make sure that you have enough money to support yourself.
No, absolutely.
Because my tooling, hell, the end mills alone that you can possibly break, or just the cost of them, are outrageous, for what you're getting.
Yeah. And, again, to me, it all starts with the plan. I mean, if you don't have a plan, you're gonna have a hard time executing anything, right? You're just gonna, it's not going to be very easy for you to see the success that you want to see. If you don't have a plan, you're going to be fragmented, and you're going to be floundering, and you're going to start stuff and stop stuff, and that's why the last time I was on here, we talked about this whole thing. Make a commitment, right? Make a commitment to something. I'm going to make a commitment that 3 times a day, I'm going to post to whatever. I'm gonna do 3 TikToks a day, right? And I'm gonna figure out what the CNC hashtags are on TikTok, so I can be on CNC TikTok pages.
Right.
Then do that.
Make a commitment to make social media content.
Exactly. So that's really the way you gotta look at this,
Right.
And what you need to consider.
Yeah, there is this year I am making a plan and implementing it. My end goal is to have a functional e-course, a monetized YouTube channel, and then my actual product, my actual tangible sellable products. What is that too much? Is that outlandish to think?
Oh no, because they're different areas. All
Okay.
right, you listed different things there, so all of those are complementary to one another. So yeah, that's exactly that's exactly the way you need to look at it.
So if I come to you, what are we talking cost to sit down and develop that plan and implement that plan over a year's time?
Well, and for me, the way all of my contracts work, it's a monthly retainer, and we sit down. We'll have a pre-meeting. We'll set down what the deliverables and the expectations are. Then I'll tell you how many months I think it's going to take us to do it, and we go for a rate that way. That way you get the most bang for your buck.
Right.
And there are certain things that aren't covered in that. If we're building websites, or there may be one-time setup fees or management fees or something like that. But I'm giving you my knowledge based on a retainer agreement. We go from there.
Right on. So, guys, these are the questions that you have to be asking your marketing people. I'm not beating around the bush, and Jerry's not beating around the bush. Like, from a small business aspect, people are out there looking for people like me, people that get jazzed about talking about their sector, and they're willing to give stuff away for free because they just get to talk about it. That's the thing. As a small business person, you are looking to get the best bang for your buck. The best bang for your buck is getting the best information for free, right? The hard part is, if I give my information for free, I'm now shoehorning myself into the fact that I don't have an income coming in. I lose my machines. And if I lose my machines, you don't get the free content anymore.
Right. And again, listen, what I tell everybody is, in this knowledge business, regardless of how specialized you think your knowledge and your information is, everybody can go find the information for free.
Yes.
It's out there. Your free information, the reason why you're giving away free information, the reason why you're doing the show that you're doing, is to establish your subject matter expertise.
Okay.
So what you're selling, what you're asking to be paid for, is that expertise. So your free knowledge shows your value, and then you ask for value. It's that simple. But again, you establish the boundaries. You establish where you can do that, how far you go, what you get for free, and after that, I'm sending you a link that has a way for you to get the knowledge that you need and to compensate me. Right?
Right
on. So let's say that you want to branch into TikTok.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
TikTok, you're going to get paid one of two ways.
Okay.
If you're doing knowledge posts and lives, all right, you're going to get paid by donation. You're going to get paid by people who say, "Thanks, Chris, for the knowledge. Learn something. Here's $5." The other way you're going to get paid is by showing the process of making a sign and holding up the sign at the end, and then somebody coming on saying, "I want one of those. How much are they?" Those are the two ways you're going to get paid on TikTok. So you make a decision to go to TikTok, then you have to have a Venmo account or a Cash App account or a PayPal account. Typically speaking, over there on TikTok, it's a Venmo account or Cash App. There's not a lot of people paying through PayPal over there. PayPal's kind of dying off right now as a payment gateway because of a bunch of things that they've been doing. But that's how you're going to get paid. You're going to show a cool sign. You're going to hold up one of these, right? And somebody's going to say, "How much is that?" And you're going to tell them, and they're going to go, "Okay, I want to order one." And then you're going to send them a link, and they're going to pay you, and there you sold a sign. Okay. But you've got to know that. So knowing that means you've got to show product, right? You don't just show one. You got to show multiple products. You also have to understand that the majority of the TikToks that you do aren't going to reach a very big audience. So you actually have to work to grow your audience. So there is an understanding of how these platforms work and how you can monetize these platforms, and you've got to work within the ways that those social media channels work in order to do that.
Gotcha. Hey, real quick, complete side note. What do you think of the graphics game? I up my graphics game.
Yeah, I like your graphics. Yeah, your graphics are a lot better than a majority of the people that are doing lives and stuff. So you're doing good over there.
I've been trying to work on that, and I've been trying to work on the audio. The audio is killing me right now because I don't know how to do like the StreamYard audio yet. It's really weird for me. But anyways, I was really excited about how I put together your graphics for your show today.
Yeah, look great.
For those of you that don't know, let me see if I can bring it up. Let's see here. There we go. That's what I put on. So, Jerry's LinkedIn account, I popped on. I got his profile pic for LinkedIn, and that has his Two Guys Marketing, Engaged Media, northcentralpa.com. And then it actually lists all of his stuff here. And then I just put a breaking news overlay on it, a special guest stamp, and the episode information. So I just thought that was cool.
Looks good.
But yeah, so that was a complete side note. Shiny squirrel moment. And so we've got two ways on TikTok. What else should we be looking at? I mean, like my boy Dre King over at First Class Flag Company, he listened to the show. He implemented the TikTok stuff, and he's posting at least one video a day, and he's getting a return on investment like you wouldn't believe. Mm-hmm. I was the one that out of that group, I was the one that started posting on TikTok. Literally, I was on TikTok when there were a couple hundred members, and I haven't seen, like, I get a lot of likes and stuff, but I haven't sold anything on TikTok.
Well, the question then becomes on TikTok, how often are you posting? Well, what's your commitment to the platform? Do you have 1,000 followers yet? Have you worked to 1,000 followers? And if you have, are you going live? Like lives of your machine working. That's all you need to do, man. Like the people who are crafts people and makers who are going onto TikTok and going live and setting their phone up on their little tripod, right? And going live and interacting with their audience and showing their audience what they're doing, and the audience allowed to see what's going on, and then in the end you're holding up, this is what I did. Those are the people who are successful. If you're posting to TikTok and you're not engaging with that audience and you're not using the platform the way your audience is using your platform, you're not going to succeed. You're simply not going to succeed.
See, for
and that's the truth. That's the truth with any platform.
Right. My problem with TikTok was I really just wanted to be one of the first makers on TikTok, which I was, and I got people, like I said, I got a lot of likes and stuff, but I didn't really sell anything because I wasn't posting on there to sell. I was posting on there just to be like, plant my flag. I'm the first nation, ha ha ha. That's really what my TikTok experience was about. And now that it's taken off, I'm like, God damn it. Why didn't I do that?
well, it's not why didn't I do that? That's not the question. The question is, why aren't you doing it?
That's what I'm saying.
Like why right now? Why is that not on your list of things to do today?
Right.
That's what you have to ask yourself. And I'm not exaggerating that the majority of makers who are actively engaging with the platform, and it's the fastest growing social media network in existence, are seeing success.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. I think of it this way, Chris. You remember your lives that were your walkthrough of the shop every morning. These are the 5 projects I finished overnight. This is the stuff that's being shipped. This is the stuff that's on the laser right now. This is the stuff that's in the powder coating machine right now. This is what I'm doing. Thanks. Have a great day.
Yep.
Like, why aren't you doing that?
True. I think right now, because I'm spending more time in the hospital, so you'll get a walkthrough of the local hospitals.
Well, but again, you take, if you're recording a single TikTok video, you're talking about 60 seconds. If you've grown your audience to, you've got 1,000 people and you're doing a live, so you're doing a 4 or 5 minute live. Great.
Right.
I mean, or you're setting a live up and you're setting your tripod up and you're letting your live and your tripod watch your laser for 20 minutes. What cuts something cool? Right. Yeah, it really is just a matter of making that commitment, and then going and doing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got that new 4x8 CNC for newbies machine. And I went live last night showing the guys how I'm setting up the spoil board, because apparently nobody in Williamsport in Lycoming, Clinton, or Center County can get me 5x10 MDF, 5 foot by 10 foot MDF.
Right.
So now I've got to piece together a spoil board, and I'm just like, oh man, so I'm kind of documenting that journey.
Yep. Again, all of this is a matter of, making a commitment to what your strategy is going to be. Okay, where are the buckets that I want to make money on? Where are the buckets that are free?
Mm-hmm.
And then how am I going to implement that so that each and every day, I do something that helps each one of those categories.
Right. So now I guess what, see, there's just always so much stuff to take in when I talk to you. I love talking to you. And, you know, let me ask you this. Have you seen an uptake in questions from being on different shows and stuff like that? Have you seen an uptake in questions on this, or people following, or anything like that? Is there a secondary audience? Is there a secondary market for people like you and I doing this stuff by collaborating?
Listen, the bottom line is the most valuable thing in existence is knowledge, right? That's the bottom line. So yeah, there's always a benefit to doing something like this and giving people the opportunity to learn. You might not see it next week, you might not see it next month, but this always has a return on it. And that's, you know, again, that's why I do it. Listen, like I said, anybody that's watching your program can go, you know, YouTube small business marketing and come up with the exact same information. We're not sharing anything that's earth shattering.
Right.
What you know, the thing that I want to encourage the most is you've got to go do it. But in going and doing it, the doing it is practice for getting the information out there. But you gotta have a plan. Like, you need a plan. You need to figure out, and you need to know how it all fits together. In a overview kind of idea, right? And you know, a lot of the marketing gurus will tell you platforms change, man. Like 6 months ago, I wasn't talking about TikTok, even though TikTok was blowing up and a lot of guys were talking about TikTok. I've made a commitment over the last month to a TikTok presence, just from a personal side of things, not a business side of things. And I have seen what TikTok is doing. I'm paying attention, right? And I'm paying attention to it more than I'm paying attention to Facebook or to YouTube or to anything else right now. It has my social media attention because I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to understand what makes TikTok tick, right? That's what I'm working on.
What is the easiest way to get your follow count up so that you can do lives and stuff like that? Because right now I can do a live, no problem, putting one together. On YouTube, I don't have the community tab to post. Like, I went to post your graphics last night to let my YouTube community know you were going to be on. And I found out I've got to have like 10,000 followers to post a community post.
Right.
TikTok, I can't go live. So I'm shoehorned into a 15 to 60 second video unless I get like 1,000 followers.
Right.
How do we get the followers as small business?
So TikTok, within a couple of days, you can be sitting at 1,000 followers. Now, again, the 1,000 followers may not be the 1,000 that you want, right? But it is doing the things to get there. So if you're on TikTok and you're scrolling through, you will see people, and they do this on Instagram too. It's a follow train or a follow back or a follow party. Just sign up to a bunch of follow parties, follow a bunch of people back, and you'll get to your 1,000 followers fairly quickly. I'm sitting at almost 5,000, and I started on November 26th, I think, or the 25th of November.
CNC.
What?
Send them over to Croft CNC.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And yeah, I mean, the quality of your content is important, but there are ways to play with the system a little bit to get to where you need to be so that you have the features available. And then it's just a matter of consistently putting out the type and the format of content that particular channel expects to see, and just hammering it. And I mean, it really is. It's a commitment to creating the right content for the right platform. Now, you can't be on every platform.
Right.
You can't. It's just impossible. It's impossible for one person to be on all social media platforms. But you can make a commitment to, I'm going to have 2 Facebook posts a day. I'm going to have an Instagram post a day, and I'm going to post 3 TikToks a day. That's what I'm going to do each and every day. And then you go create that content. So yeah, the initially, to get the number of followers you need to implement specific tactics on specific channels, that is about numbers. Yes. Then it's about using that. It's about using that following to be able to tap into the proper following and go from there. If you are relying on the organic nature of the algorithms on any social platform to help you out, it's not going to happen. You've got to understand the algorithm, and you've got to use that to your advantage. And then once you get there, okay, then you use that audience that you've created to grow the proper audience.
Right.
But you've got to be able to unlock the things that you need to unlock, so that you can properly use use those particular tools. I'll give you a great example of learning to use social media to your advantage. You can't be on Forged in Fire without a social media presence. Part of your application to get on Forged in Fire is you got to tell them all about your social media presence. You got to tell them what you do. You got to tell them the content that you produce. You got to tell them how big your audience is. All right. And you got to grow an audience in order to get on that show.
Right.
Now there's not a CNC show, but the principle is the same thing. You need to be able to use social media to drive your base, to grow your base, to get those fans, to get your tribe together, so that you can then monetize that. People think that the word monetization or monetizing is an evil term. It's not, right? It's you using your knowledge in order to pay your bills,
right,
and finding a balance to the ability that you have to be a great educator and to be a great source of knowledge, while getting paid.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
So Kat Westman just asked, she's new to TikTok, or she doesn't really know much about TikTok. Can you set up your profile for your business? So on TikTok, I'm under Croft CNC, and all I post are CNC related stuff. I do not have a personal account where I do dances and everything like that. But from my understanding, there is a business TikTok.
Yeah. There's a business account, but it starts with a personal profile. It's just like Facebook. You can't have a business TikTok without a personal one, but you can convert your personal into a business, the way old Instagram was.
Right. So Kat, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I can show you how I set mine up and everything. Dre from First Class Flag Company, I told you he's big on TikTok right now. He's making a splash. He's saying that it's imperative for him to get good hashtags, just like on Instagram. Where are we finding these hashtags at?
You're
finding the top hashtags.
You're simply doing your own research. You're just simply doing your own research.
So what are we researching for hashtags? Kat wants to get on TikTok, she wants to make a splash, or
Well, again, it depends on what you're doing, right? If you're doing tips for home hobbyists with CNC machines and 3D printers, then you want to check the hashtags for CNC machines. You want to check the hashtags for 3D printers. You want to check the tags for hobbyists. You want to go in and you just want to, TikTok's like any other platform that has hashtags. If you go to the search and you type the hashtag, Instagram tells you there are 15.6 million posts with this hashtag. TikTok's the same way. There are 73 million posts with this hashtag. So and this is the hashtags that are trending, right?
Right. So, Kat, that'll get you squared away in terms of, like, if I'm correct, I think Kat is Kathy that messaged me or was talking to me last night. I can't actually remember who Kat is, but I believe it's the lady I was talking to last night on the Crafty Guru group on Facebook. So for you, Kat, we want to research CO2 laser, hashtag CO2 laser, hashtag laser cut, hashtag CNC laser, hashtag what else, Jerry? Laser product.
Yeah, whatever. Again, you know your keywords about your industry better than a consultant's going to. So take a half hour and just go in and start banging those things out. Find accounts that are similar to yours and see what hashtags they're using. Yeah. It's everybody borrows everybody else's hashtags. Like right. you're just looking for the best hashtag to find your audience.
Yep, I completely agree. So, Kat, I hope that helped you in your journey of getting recognized on the social medias. I had a unique situation, Jerry, where I was at my local Walmart and a guy actually stopped me and was like, "Hey, you're that guy." This was right before Christmas, and he was like, "Hey, you're that guy," and I'm like, "I am that guy. What guy am I? Like, I don't know what you're talking about, right?" And he's like, "I watch you on YouTube," and I was like, "Well, how did you hear about me?" And it turns out, like, if you Google like CNC or Croft CNC, apparently I pop up like in the top. and he was just researching and he saw one of my signs, clicked on it, and it took him to my YouTube. And he just started deep diving my YouTube account. And he's like, "Yeah, I think what you're doing is so cool. I'm a gamer. I'm trying to come up and, I'd like to get a sign from you with my gamer tag." And I was like, that's kind of funny because I was just talking to my friend and my daughter both about making gamer tag signs. And this guy like organically did it. How does that work? Like, I don't want to, I just want to grow organically. How do I do that?
Well, again, everybody's going to grow organically. The idea that you can go viral, right, or that you can stick to only organic growth, that's not gonna happen, right? I have a student of mine who's got about 300,000 followers on YouTube. The way she got to 300,000 followers on YouTube, it took her 6 years,
right?
Like, and getting to 10,000 was much harder than getting to 50,000, and it was and it was incredibly much harder than her getting to 300,000.
Right.
So you've the organic growth is all about consistent content. It's all about consistent value and consistent content.
So here's one of the things that I'm going to do organically. Okay, Kat, you just got some great information from me. You run the Crafty Guru. Do me a favor, give me a shout out on Crafty Guru for Coffee and Cuts if you like the content. Now, from my understanding, Jerry, she does that. We've now cross-platformed between Facebook and TikTok if she goes on and gives me a shout out, correct?
Absolutely.
And that's organic growth.
Absolutely.
Okay. I was just trying to make a comparison for the people so that they know.
And in the same way, you know, if Kat wants me to come do a Q&A for a group, I'm happy to come do it. You know, that's what we do. See,
that right there is what sets Jerry apart from a lot of people is, you know, we talked about it. You and Gary V kind of coming up at the same time, but I can't get Gary V on this show. He's not going to give me an hour of his time and be like, oh yeah, that's free of charge. Here you go. I just want to get out to the people and enjoy. You know, his machine is so much faster and bigger. You're of the same mindset, but you have the smallest of small businesses in mind.
Yep.
And that's what's amazing.
Yeah. Again, this is all about it's about creating the content. It's about creating the opportunity and giving people the ability to get the knowledge that they need. And Chris, you know, I have found over the course of 8 years of this being my primary way that I market myself, that people understand the fact that they've got to pay for something. I mean, they get it. Like unless they have something to trade, right? Unless they have the ability that they have something you need, you know, they understand that there's going to be a cost at some point in time. And
right.
Typically speaking, they're very grateful for either way.
Right. You know, that's the thing. You've been gracious enough to give me a start to where now I'm setting up, and I was able to save up a little bit of coin to now be able to implement a plan and project for 2021 to get you in the loop on what I want to do and find the best way to do it. But you've given me hell between the Covation Center and just in your time alone, you know, I've probably used up 40 hours of your time, you know, and that has something to say to people, you know.
It's an investment. Well, listen, it's an investment. That's the bottom line. And I don't believe that any investment is worthless.
Right. And that's one of the biggest things to me is, you know, I'm thankful that I'm able to bring people like you to the community that I'm in, because it makes it so awesome to see these two worlds coming together, you know. Kat definitely wants you to do a show on her group or do a live on her group. John Gallant wants to have a big old party and talk CNCs. I am already in process of doing that. As soon as I get the CNC for Newbies machine up and running and actually producing product, Jerry, I'm thinking about renting that new Fairfield Suites here in Lock Haven. I'm thinking about renting their conference room and actually putting on a little education / shindig for like 2 days. What are your thoughts on those?
Oh, again, anytime you can get people together, it's a good thing. The one thing I'll say is, a year ago, in person, typically speaking, was the only way. But now, living in the world that we live in, what we're doing right here is normal, right?
Right.
And there's enough tools that exist that you can do a virtual one of these with 5 minutes notice anytime you want to do them. So
okay, hold on right there. That was another thing I wanted to do. Was I wanted to actually do a virtual cohort of sorts, as Steve would say, Steve Brady from the Covation Center. I want to do a virtual cohort. If I want to get John Toft with John Gallant, with John LaPontaine, with Dre King, and I want all these people in a party, I want to be able to answer speedball questions from them and stuff like that. How would I do it?
Zoom.
It gives you an unlimited number, or you're limited to 8?
Nope. Zoom, you can have as big a group as you want. Okay.
I am going to look that up because that's something that I want to do. I want to put on a huge cohort where CNC guys can ask a question. The only problem I'll have is making sure all the mics are muted, and then only operating question and answer like through one person. I don't know if that's possible. Is that possible on that, or does everybody just talk over each other?
Nope. You can mute everybody and just set a protocol in place for how people talk.
Awesome. So, John Gallant, for you, I am going to figure out the Zoom deal, and I am going to put a virtual cohort of CNC people where we can all get together and just kind of share knowledge, and who knows, maybe it might be another avenue, maybe like a beer and bullshit session.
I do a lot of happy hours on Zoom, so
really
it's a good platform for that.
Right on.
Yep.
So, Jerry, is there anything in particular that you want to get out to the group right now? I mean,
just reiterating the basics. Have a plan and do something to execute marketing on a daily basis. Know you've got the tool, basically in your hand or in your pocket in order to do it, and make the commitment to every day doing it. Whether it's, I don't care what platform you're doing it on.
right.
Create content and put the content out.
And that's the thing, is just content. You have to hammer it so that you're at the forefront. Whenever they open their social media, you're there.
Well, it's not so much that. It's the consistency of it for the sake of the platform. If you only post to Instagram once a week, your reach is going to be terrible. If you only make one TikTok a week, your reach is going to be terrible. You only make one Facebook post a week, your reach is going to be terrible. Okay. The algorithms are all geared towards making the best content available to their end users, and they deem creators who create content frequently to be of more value than a creator who creates less frequent content.
Right.
That's the reason, right? Because you want to be in people's news feeds. You want to be in their social stream. And in order for you to be in their social stream, you have to be consistently posting in order for the algorithm to stick you there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think we got another one in the books, Jerry. Unless you got something else you want to talk about. I mean, we'll keep you on here all day if you want, but I think we got work to do.
I do have work to do, and I'm good. But like, we can make this a weekly or a bi-weekly thing, whatever you want to do.
I'll tell you what, you pick the hashtag. You pick the hashtag of what you want people to post. If that hashtag can get 100 hashtags, we'll do it. We'll do it weekly.
All right.
What hashtag?
Yeah, you pick. So you can follow it and let me know.
Hashtag CNC Jerry. Coffee and Cuts Jerry.
There you go.
What do you think?
I like it.
All right. That's what we're going to do, guys. If you like this, I want you to spread that hashtag all through your social medias. Hashtag letter C, hashtag letter N, hashtag letter C, and then Jerry. Hashtag CNC Jerry. If we get 100 of them, Jerry will be willing to do this on a bi-weekly, a weekly basis.
Sure. I'll come on twice a month.
Okay, twice a month you'll get Jerry free question and answer sessions. You come with your questions, he'll answer them for you. All right.
There you go.
All right, guys, we're gonna cut him off here. Let him get to work. Jerry, thank you so much for a great show once again, man.
No problem. Thank you very much, sir.
Yep. Later, guys.